Happy Monday. Thanks so much for joining us here on 90s Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi with a detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast, which finally will feature some active weather with showers and thunderstorms, the possibility for much warmer temperatures at the beginning and middle part of this week, and then much cooler temperatures for the end of it and into the upcoming weekend. That could include a little bit of rain and a little bit of mountain snow, but I think everybody needs to take a bit of a chill pill about our snow chances here in the Denver area coming up for Friday. I don't think we're going to see much of anything at all here in the Denver area, but it does seem like a lot of people are talking about it right now. All right, let's go take a look outside and show you what we are looking at right now here in the Denver area. A lot of mid to high level clouds, and those will eventually give way to some isolated showers and thunderstorms later on this afternoon. But the story today will also be very warm temperatures. We're going to be well into the 80s this afternoon. We're going to be about 15 degrees above average for this time of year with a high in the mid 80s. I'll show you exactly how warm it gets here in just a second. But we do have those isolated storms. I'll say this, these are not big deal kinds of storms because of that mid to high level moisture. It's too dry at the surface for any real rainfall or any kind of real significant rain chances for us here at the surface. And also, again, that'll also reduce our severe weather chances here in the Denver area. You head east of Denver in the eastern plains. That's where we could be seeing maybe a few gusty storms develop. But for most of us, it's, again, not a big deal weather risk for your day today. Red flag warning in place across much of southern Colorado. This is going to be for the San Luis Valley as well as Walsenburg, Trinidad, and just south of the city of Pueblo, where we do have some gusty winds and some warm conditions and also very dry conditions. HD Doppler radar showing a few clouds streaming on in from the south and west. That is part of a weak little disturbance that'll give us that chance for some of those isolated showers and storms later on today. Now, as I mentioned, Denver area, I don't think we're looking at much in the way of storms. Could hear a clap of thunder later on this afternoon. That will probably be about it. Now you get to about Fort Morgan, you get to about Lyman on east. That's where you could see some rain and the potential for a gusty storm and maybe even some large hail within some of those storms as well. But I think the main threat from today's storms will be gusty winds. By the way, Denver, we could see some periodic little gusts of wind here as well this afternoon with some of the outflow from some of those dying thunderstorms here in the Denver area. Now, a lot of 30s and 40s in terms of those wind speeds for us on the eastern plains. Few spots topping 40 miles an hour out by Springfield, but for most of us, again, the winds notably lighter than they were last week. Current temperatures, 60s and 70s for us on the eastern plains, looking a lot of 60s in the mountains at this point as well. Denver already up to 76, though. That tells us we'll be well into the 80s later on this afternoon. Dew points measure the amount of moisture at the atmosphere, and the lower this number is, the drier, generally speaking, it is. And when you got a dew point in the 30s, that tells us that it is pretty dry out there right now. So again, that's what I was talking about with those mid to high level clouds. Yeah, we're going to see some storms develop, but they're going to be way up there. So as that rain falls, a lot of it's going to evaporate before it hits the surface because of the dryness at the surface. So today, we're expecting our highs to get on up into the mid 80s. That is, again, about 15 degrees above where we should be for the middle of the month of May. We'll see some increasing clouds and some isolated storms later on this afternoon. Again, better chance for seeing some of that stronger activity as you head east of Denver, but in the city itself, we could see, again, clap of thunder, maybe a lightning strike between about 3 and 6. That should be pretty much it. A little bit of gusty wind as well. Highs, some of us on the eastern plains top 90 degrees. So it's, again, a pretty toasty afternoon for the middle of May. Again, most of us looking at those highs somewhere between about 10 to 15 degrees above norm for this time of year. There's a look at some of those storms. Again, maybe what we're talking about, a few raindrops on the windshield. That's about it here, folks, in terms of those rain chances for today. Maybe a better chance as we get into your day tomorrow. We'll get a bit more moisture in the picture tomorrow, Wednesday, but again, I don't think today is much of a big deal. Tonight, temperatures low 50s for us. It is quiet. It is pretty comfortable out there as well. Sunset 8:08, and boy, isn't it noticeable this time of year. Forecast lows for tonight, 30s and 40s in the mountains, 50s. Generally speaking, on the eastern plains. Now, for tomorrow, it stays warm, but I think we'll get a bit more cloud cover tomorrow, and that could give way to a better chance for storms here in the city of Denver. So hour by hour, here's how it looks. Again, we're looking at a lot of 70s, low 80s throughout the day. with a high temperature somewhere around 83, 84 degrees, as I mentioned. But we do have some increasing clouds. And again, a better chance tomorrow than today at seeing a storm develop here in the Denver area. Highs tomorrow, again, a lot of 80s for us with those afternoon, evening showers and storms. Cooler for us in the foothills and the mountains. So let's walk you through that storm chance tomorrow and tomorrow night. Now, as you head north of I-70, your shower and storm chances tomorrow will increase. If you're joining us from Fort Collins, from Loveland, from Fort Morgan, from Greeley, I think you're going to have a pretty good chance at seeing a storm tomorrow. Denver, I'd say it's probably a little below 50-50 that we get a storm here in town. But again, you head north, Boulder on north, you're going to have a better chance at seeing a storm tomorrow afternoon. As we got a weak disturbance that's kind of riding I-80 a bit more, which means, again, better chance for seeing storms north of Denver. Then on Wednesday, we kind of flip the switch a little bit here. It'll be a better chance as you head south of Denver at seeing a storm. Palmer Divide on south and east will have a chance for a stronger shower storm for your day on Wednesday. So for tomorrow, again, Denver, better chance of a storm tomorrow than today, but I think the main threat from any storm that we see tomorrow would be some damaging straight line winds, maybe some large hail, but I don't think tomorrow's a big hail day. It's, again, still too dry at the surface for us to really be talking about any significant hail chances, but we do have the chance for seeing a little bit of hail and some gusty winds tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Wednesday, probably a slightly better chance for a storm on Wednesday than Tuesday. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Wow, yeah, you can notice that big tumble in temperatures will go from the mid to maybe even upper 80s on your Thursday down into the upper 30s by Friday night and Saturday morning, which means that, of course, there's the chance for shower to thunderstorm, but also even the chance for a little bit of wet snow as our system drops on in from the north and west. But I think this is, I think people are, how do I put this politely, kind of freaking out a little bit about this too much. I'm seeing it all over social media. A lot of discussion about that rain snow chance for us coming up on Friday night. I'll tell you what here, folks, I'm just not seeing a ton here in Denver. I think you get to 6,000, probably 6,500 feet or above. So kind of Castle Rock, kind of the high side of Morrison up there. That's where you could see a slushy 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inches worth of snowfall. In town here, though, we just don't have enough cold air or enough moisture to really give us much in the way of snowfall. So I know, again, I'm seeing a lot of people freaking out on social media. My message to you would be just, I don't think we're going to be looking at much in the way of anything on Friday night and Saturday morning. Of course, anything is possible. It's Colorado. Weird things happen all the time here, but I think my point of emphasis would be, let's cool the brakes a little bit on some of the discussion about snow for Friday night and Saturday morning here in the Denver area. Foothills, different story. Mountains, different story. And we could get some beneficial moisture here in the Denver area as well. But a lot of the discussion out there on social media about the snow chances Friday night, Saturday morning, I don't think we're going to be looking at much of anything here in town. Again, different story in the foothills, certainly a different story on up into the mountains. So hopefully that clears that up a little bit for you. Meteorologist Keely Chalmers has another update coming up at 9 News at noon, and Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin is in at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 here on the 9 News family of networks. In the meantime, I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and have a great rest of your Monday.